2-0 in her favor. Let's welcome Chrystine. Hello. Right, have a seat, Chrystine.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chrystine. Yes, and this is me.
So right? Looks like right.
Just shorter hair, that's all. Yeah.
So I understand you recently went through a very life-changing moment.
Yes, as recent as end of 2024. Well, what happened was, have you ever were you very diligent in your annual health screening?
Basically, those who feel that I go for a medical checkup every year,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So I'm someone like that. I go for annual health screening, and on top of annual health screening, each screening I have all my tumor markers, right? I add on to my free annual health screening that's provided by the company that I was working with. Now, I've been clearing all my annual health screening, and my tumor markers are clean every year. So imagine the shock. Like 30 days later, the doctor told me that I had cancer. So I kind of look at the doctor, I say, it cannot be. I just did my annual health screening, and my tumor markers come out clean. So of course, the doctor says, well, this is bad news, but it is what it is. So it's quite shocking because I couldn't connect those two data points, right? When I had finished my health screening, my report was clean on one side, and another side, my doctor was telling me a totally different story. So I said, let's do this carefully. And of course, then I was put through a lot of other tests, just to, first of all, to see how fast it has spread, and where it is for location. And lo and behold, after I did the numerous number of tests, including a PET scan, I was diagnosed with another cancer. So I have 2 cancers to deal with. Of course, my mind went totally blank.
2 cancers.
2 cancers.
Buy one, get one free.
Well, you can say that. And by that time, the doctor was telling me, Chrystine, you've got to look at the cards you are dealt with. If the 2 cancers are connected, you are stage 4. My mind calculated very quickly that I don't have much time in stage 4. So 1 year ago, this was only about 1 year ago, I wouldn't have imagined myself sitting here sharing this story with you. But if the cancers are not related, then I'll just have to manage 2 primary cancers, different type of cancers. I don't know about you, but if you were in my shoe, right, you would want 1 or 2, in that sense. It's very difficult situation there, but the practicality and the pragmatism of how I am wired kicked in. I just say, okay, if this is the case, let's do what is necessary. Let's get it tested. Let's get it sorted out in that sense. And by the time I went into the operating theater, my medical team was 7 doctors, right? So it was 2 separate cancers. I have 2 surgical teams, 1 thoracic and 1 gynecological. And the doctors did not want to stage different operations. They want to do it simultaneous because they don't want to risk the one or the other tumor growing faster while waiting for recovery of the other one. So it's a bit like K-drama with 2 teams working on me. And that's how it happened in my mind, right? I say, okay, now I've got the thoracic side and I've got the gynecological side. They're going to have an OT. drama there. And even the blood bank was on standby because my lung cancer, the tumor was very close to my heart. And so even the thoracic surgeon who operated on me is a specialist for both the lungs and the heart. So that was a very expensive surgeon. But, you know, at that point, right, you realize that money is not a big deal. You just want the health back, right? And all the CPF that I have doesn't matter. I just want my health back. I say, okay, doctor, please come and take care of me, right? You take care of this lung part, and the other team takes care of the other part, and just let me wake up in that sense from the OT. So it was an 8-hour surgery. It went well. They told me to be prepared for a 14-day hospital stay.
14 days.
14 days, not 40, 14 days. So I was mentally prepared. I packed a suitcase, you know. I said, okay, I'm going to spend 14 days in the hospital. But this is the second day of my operation. One day after ICU, I was able to sit up. And the doctor were amazed. Both doctors were amazed because lung and gynecological, meaning that the whole body is in pain, right? In that sense, but I was able to sit up. And by day 3, I was independently walking out of bed. And by day 5, I was fit for discharge.
Day 5?
Yeah, day 5.
Wow.
It was so fast that I was thinking, hey, I haven't unpacked my suitcase. I haven't read a single book. And I'm on my way home, right? So if the two teams of doctors were pretty amazed at my quick recovery, because they say that I recover faster than anybody who's undergoing or underwent one surgery, and I have double surgeries, right? So well, of course, then I was even strong enough to start rehab by day 13. So that you can imagine, right? I'm supposed to have a 14-day hospital stay, but by day 13, I'm independently going to a rehab center, strengthening my lungs. So how does my voice sound? Strong enough or not? Yeah. Right after surgery, my lung function was only 50%, so I couldn't risk catching any infection. In fact, my doctor told me, at 50%, you're worse than the late Pope, okay? Please don't get sick, in that sense, because it just cannot cope, in that sense. So I think many of my friends here have not seen me for quite a while last year, as I try to, keep my immunity, try to preserve my immunity in that sense. So needless to say, chemo commenced after 8 weeks because they need to let the physical wounds heal before chemo starts, right? Like what my friend Tina says, the harsh chemicals are coming in. The surgery, if I thought surgery was bad, the chemo was another round of reality for me. And I actually took CELERGEN after I was discharged from hospital, and
during the chemo.
And during the chemo itself,
okay. That was kind of like reckless, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't reckless, because if I know that if I ask the doctor will say don't take anything, right? But there are doctors in Avita, and I've been working with them on how to take it in a responsible manner, right? And I know that chemo is going to whack out all my cells, right? Good cells, bad cells, all whack out. I say that if there's any time that CELERGEN is going to do a wonderful, awesome job, is when my cells are all whack out, right? And then when CELERGEN goes in, and all my healthy cells are going to, blossom in that sense. So So I'm on a 3-week chemo cycle. So that means 1, 2, 3. Then the 4th week you start again 1, 2, 3. Right? For some of you with friends or relatives who have gone through chemo, you know this particular cycle. So of course, when I was on the day of chemo, I don't waste precious CELERGEN, right? You put it in and then the drug is going to flush it out. So I took it when the day, 1 week after my chemo went in. Amazingly, by my 4th cycle, my oncologist suspend my chemo treatments. That one was also a surprise to me, because although my blood works were very stable after each chemo cycle, my effects, I don't have this huge effects. I do have some minor nausea, but it can be dealt with. I can manage that. I wasn't on any medication, just painkillers, and I didn't take a single painkiller when I was on during my whole chemo regime. The only thing I was having in my body was CELERGEN, very diligent, right? So when the doctor announced, Chrystine, I think we better suspend the chemo, not stop, suspend the chemo. I said, why? We can't find cancer cell activity. So they suspended. I said, oh, that can only be good news to me, you know, in that sense. I said, okay, great, yeah. So, but they say, but we still need to monitor you because we just want to make sure that the cancer cell activity doesn't come back. So I've got to go for my 3-month scans. So the following scan, clear. Then they extend the scan to 6 months, clear. And I think as of now, I've been 1 year treatment-free from any cancer treatment, right? So the doctor says that, okay, now we will downgrade the kind of scans that we will put you through. And I must say that, you know, the fact that I could sit here and share with everyone with a full head of natural hair, I attribute it to the wonderful supplement that I have known and eating it diligently. And I think that is my greatest benefit of knowing about CELERGEN.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That's such a powerful sharing.
Yes.
Okay, so anybody who asks about with cancer, that's why I've heard a lot of stories about cancer in Avita, and anyone with cancer who's going through the very harsh treatment, I always say, give CELERGEN a go. Right? What's the worst that can happen? But thank you very much for sharing. You fight 2 cancers.
Yes. So that's why 2-0 in that sense. Right. Okay.
Thank you, Chrystine.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
And, in any case, if there's one thing that I want to leave with the audience, is that never assume that if your health screening results comes out good, your tumor markers are clean, it doesn't necessarily mean that your body is okay, because that was what happened to me, right? So, okay, right. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, I think that must have been very hard to share about 2 cancers.